All right, guys, what's going on? It's Eric here, Traveling Trader. We're going to go ahead and get into this little recap here today. Uh, Monday, December 20th, start of Christmas week. And, not a bad day today for Monday. In fact, it's a great day, all things considering. Market was red all day today and last week. So, us having these good moves from the alerts, definitely paid off. And, guys, this is why we trade momentum stocks. I mean, you know, the market's bad. It's bad, but you still got opportunity. When the market's good, it's good, and you got easy opportunity. Today we had quite a bit of options to trade today. So, what we're going to do here is just kind of go into it, see what we're things that we should see, what we're looking at, what we missed, what we might have wanted to do differently. But basically, just kind of overall recap today's trades. Today I took about 4 trades, kind of double dipped on SOPA. Could you blame me? I mean, the thing ran like 200%. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into this real quick. For those of you that are in the group chat and everything like that, I did upload the live stream into the video lounge, so you guys can take a look at that. You'll see my entries and exits. You'll see me like drawing the trend lines of when I was anticipating it as well, another breakout for the SOPA. Basic technical analysis that you can do when you're trading. If you would have took, 10 or 15 minutes to do this trade, 30 minutes at the most maybe, you'd have made yourself some good money. Call it a day. Um, the video is about an hour and a half long, so if you want to kind of skip through certain parts, you can do that. Instead of sitting there waiting for the whole thing to play out, you can kind of speed it up and look at all. But it's all in the learning lounge for you there. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at that. If you guys have any questions, let me know about that. But I'm going to show you guys pretty much this trade here. We'll cover it up, look at it, um, and just kind of go from there. I mean, by now you guys should pretty much know like my trading strategies, what I kind of look for to kind of enter and exit. But overall, we want to know what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and kind of get into, the trades here. Well, first and foremost, let's take a look here at the alerts and see which ones. So, I mean, from the jump, guys, SOPA should have been on your radar, blank, blank, period. You know why? Because it literally was like the second thing that was alerted. I mean, SEAC did pretty good. It's at 223. I mean, that's only like a 20-cent move. Not too bad, but it had its ups and downs today. But SOPA, you had a volume spike at 425. Then that thing ran to 516. I was up at, you know, 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern time. I mean, depending on your trading style, guys, that's kind of the sacrifice you have to do as a trader. Um, I know many don't want to hear that. You want to just be able to come in and make quick money and call it a day. But unfortunately, it's not how this works. Again, you're going against professionals, you're going against computers, you're going against an entire society. It's you against the world when it comes to this. So you're either gonna, sink or swim. So it's up to you. I mean, you want to put in the practice and get it in, then do so. That's what I do. But then again, I have all day to do whatever I want. So it's all about sacrifice. But anyways, SOPA announced that they're going to be added to the Russell 2000 index, which is a great catalyst. Boom, is one of my things on my checklist. So I'm looking at that thing already. And if you want to kind of take a look at it, um, it didn't really do much of anything in the beginning. It kind of did, and it set up an ample opportunity for people to get in. And I'll cover that in a minute. We'll do SOPA last. I'll jump over the other 2 trades that I jumped into. CANF was one of them. So let's kind of look at that. And let's look at that alert. So CANF said, they had a liver cancer patient treatment with CanFight. Neuropodepsin clears all cancer liaisons under open label extension in phase 2 study, which obviously is probably good news, a good study. That's great. So let's take a look at this thing here. And this was in pre-market. This was alerted. Again, guys, if you don't have a broker that lets you trade pre-market, you're missing out. Honestly, I know people will tell you, oh, trading pre-market is very risky. It's not much volume going on. Blah blah blah. That's BS. It's a lot of volume going on. 9 times out of 10, by the time the market and pre-market has moved, probably within an hour, maybe two, depending on the stock. Usually, one or two stocks may have already traded a couple million shares. Now, imagine if your little 500 shares was part of that million share trade. Like you guys know me, I'm only trading with 500 shares. So, Why not get into that and take advantage of the opportunity, especially when you know how to read price action on level two and you know your charts? Why not take advantage of that opportunity? Okay. Um, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But anyways, you got ample time. So we had that volume spike there with CANF right here. And you guys know the routine. Let it pop up. You wait for the pullback. Look for the new break. Great. Even if you missed out on that one, guess what? You know it's coming to pull back again. Wait for some support to show. No matter where you're at, when you're waiting on that pullback, me personally, when I'm waiting on that pullback, I'm setting my risk to reward. Whether I'm setting it right here, right here, right here, no matter where I'm at in the stock, I'm going to set that risk to reward. And, either I'm going to be right or either I'm going to be wrong. But chances are the odds are in my favor because why? I got a good chart set up. I got good indication. I'm looking at level two. I see great price action. I'm going to get in. I'm going to take that chance. So with CANF, that wasn't a bad trade there. I got in at like 208, um, and made a quick little $200 on that. It was like a good 20% gain. I held it for a good minute, um, just because of the fact that it never showed anything that made me want to think that it was gonna crack. What gave me more strength here, guys, and again, this is why I tell you to look at to study your candlesticks, your charts, which kind of goes along with your price action studying, is the fact that, we had this candle here and we had this candle here. I was feeling positive about this because that lets me know that, after all this wiping out of, you know, old shares, old shares, we got new higher levels of support. And I'm seeing strength here. Now, while this was happening, I was watching level two. We had some good strength here. Spinning top, boom, shooting star, boom. That's good. Good bullish signals. So I'm okay to hold this because there's a battle right here with price action. The good thing about this battle right here, because of the fact that the MACD is already rolled over in this red, you see that it hasn't rolled over yet. I know it has to eventually go green, so it's a good chance that it's going to go green in the pop. Because of the fact I didn't see any candles that was threatening a good drop, there was no reason for me to get out. Now, if you wanted to do your little technical analysis, you could have drew your lines of level of support as you were in the trade. And I mean, you would have probably seen that breakout right there. Then you had another breakout right here, which is good. And no, that's where I exited at, and just call it a day because by then I wanted to jump in, another trade. It was pre-market still. So I'm thinking to myself, kind of time to get another trade. Now, SOPA came up too. Sorry, I'm looking at somebody messaging me. Now, SOP, I got in that one twice, and then I got in GRTX as well too. So let's look at GRTX next, and then we'll talk about SOPA. Now, you got to keep in mind, guys, knowing all this stuff, the market is still red. So I'm not going to want to try to hold a trade too long in hopes to, get greedy and get as much as the move as I can from top to bottom. Doesn't make sense. Why? When I'm coming off of a red day in a red market, these things can turn on me in a quick of a, at the drop of a dime, this can get turned on to you. So anyway, we got the alerts more again about SOPA, stuff like that coming in, CRNF. So GRTX came up here with City Price giving it a price target to $20 with a buy rating. By the time that came out at 620, it was kind of iffy for me, and I'll tell you why. Because of the fact, and I didn't care to like write about here. The reason why it was iffy to me is because you guys know I'm not really trying to touch a stock and hold it through the opening bell because of the fact that I don't care too much for that price action. I let the market decide what I think the stock should do, and if the market thinks the stock should be tanked, they're going to tank it. If the market thinks the stock should run, it'll run. But I need to see the support or resistance somewhere by the time that bell opens because we're in a whole new ball game. Once pre-market is done, pre-market is done. You can use that as another level of support and resistance when you're viewing, the stock at the time after the bell opens. But you don't want to, stay in there because there's a good chance it might not come back or to break through support because pre-market is pre-market, just like after hours is after hours. And opening bell from noon is its time frame. That's why I break down those time frames for you guys in the course because you need to understand the differences between them. So, anyways, I'm not holding it through the bell, but I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it because I'm also in SOP at this time as well too. But it breaks out right here. Okay, that's good. That looks good. That looks good. I'm not in it at the breakout. I'm waiting for some pullback. We got a little bit of a pullback right here. So I said I'm going to go ahead and get in. I'm going to ride this bad boy up on the next pop. That's exactly what I did. Got in, got out. That one was a pretty quick trade. Didn't take too long. I was happy with that one. I nailed that one to the T, in my opinion. It was part of, it was part of the plan, part of the entry and the exit. So I'm not going to complain. Um, you know, get in. I got filled at like 4:30 and just, quickly got out. It was a quick trade. So, anyways, a good thing I got in and got out when I did. I was almost nailing it at the top because pretty much then it just grinded out the rest of the day. And it'll probably fall back down in a moment. But again, you ride, that momentum. I'm using the ride the wave strategy, you know. So, oops, sorry. So it's not much to, be hanging on to. Especially if I'm getting in at that time at like 4:30 and I'm waiting on that pop, ride it up, boom, get out. So that was a quick little 5% there. I think that was like $120. It wasn't much, but $120, that could be lunch or something. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's get into the big boy here. SOPA. This is the meat of the move today. Look, my drawings are still up there. See, I said this in another video um, about how TradingView doesn't delete your chart drawings. You could go back to the stock years later and your drawings will still be there. But anyways, so we got this alert first thing in the morning right here, guys. So again, this should have been on your radar. And even if it wasn't on your radar, it should have, and you weren't paying attention to it, you should have still been paying attention to it because even when it pulled back to its lowest level, guys, it was still like top three, top four of percentage gainers throughout the day. Even when it was down here at like $3. So you got that spike up, pull back, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought for sure it was done. I thought it was a pop and drop. I paid it no attention, paid it no attention, paid it no attention. And guess what? This thing started to get halted when the bell opened. Right here is where I started to notice it. And you'll see back in my trade that I took it pre-market mainly because of this. Now, if you understand what the importance of the EMA crossing the VWAP is, you understand why I took it. If you understand market cycles, basically the market in general, you understand why I exited pretty much right before that drop. Took my money and ran. As a matter of fact, I think that was since that was the first trade, I think I can pull it up here. I don't know if I can pull it up on here or not, but if not, just go back to the Facebook group and you'll see it. I got in right when that thing crossed and sold. Nailed that one to a T. Price action told me that it was, lighting up. Indicators told me that it was lighting up. So it was kind of easy to figure out. But again, the reason why I entered there is because I know this means a bullish sign. The reason why I got out is because I know overall market forces are against me. The market is red. It was still red during pre-market. I'm not taking any chances. I'm gonna be, you know, conservative Kevin and take my money and run. So I did that. But then opening bell. Now understand this. The reason why a lot of traders were looking at this, guys, because remember when I was telling you back here, even at its lowest point, it was still one of the top percentage gainers for pre-market. So everyone was already looking at it anyway, right? Obviously, by then a lot of traders may have been doing news. Usually around here when it starts to get active, 30 minutes, an hour before the bell starts to get active, traders are doing research on the stocks that have already gapped up in pre-market. While they're doing their research, I already either made a trade or made my money. That's just how I like to do, thanks to Webull. Um, but let's say they're sitting there looking at, research and doing all that stuff. They're already setting their plans, setting their trades, of how they're going to do the trade. Doing all the risk reward management, probably doing the same thing that you do as a trader. Um, That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If it works out for you, it works out for you. But we had two halts. You guys seen it in the Facebook group. I said, man, this is a halting day for SOPA. This thing halted so many different times. And that was fine. I was gonna let it ride. I wasn't gonna touch it. I don't like to be in the halts, but if I gotta be in it, I'm gonna be in it. I didn't get in this trade, guys, until about $9.02. Now, where's $9.02? Hmm? Yeah, this was a good risk to reward management for me for the fact that I charted this. It's a bull flag, pretty simple to kind of tell. The halts gave you the pole, and then you just draw your flags from there. See where it's going to intersect at. If it breaks up, you know you can ride that thing out. If it breaks down, you need to go ahead and get out. Okay. Um, Anyways, got in at 902. This thing broke out all the way up to like $13 a day, twice. So you had ample opportunity. Um, it's just that simple. I don't know how else to break this down much easier for you. If you're wondering about the indicators here, you know, RSI, MACD, Squeeze Pro, I mean, everything that's there that you need um, to kind of, be able to indicate that. But mainly what you want to do, you're looking at price action, that's great. But draw your lines, draw your trend lines. If you use Fibonacci, use it. If you use stochastics, use it. Whatever's fitting your trading plan, whatever indicator you use that fits your trading plan, utilize it, but don't forget everything else. That's what a lot of traders mess up at. They forget things like their risk management. They might forget things like, external market forces, the way the market is. Just because your Fibonacci retracement tells you, levels are here, levels are there, the market doesn't have to move it to that if they don't want to. I mean, there's other traders besides yourself. It helps. The main thing you want to understand is that you want to have the odds on your side. Okay. Here, again, traders know chart patterns, they know movement, they know price action. Then there's those who don't still contribute to the market, and this almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, anyways, enter 902, exit out, a couple thousand, easy money. But that's pretty much it for the day, guys. So, pretty much gonna wrap this up, and we are good to go. Stay green.